Well, this is the very first episode of She Woke Up. It's been a minute. We haven't been around since last year. And I felt like doing something a little different. Usually, I'm sitting on a computer. Somebody else is either on this side, whatever. It might be two people additional. But I felt like we needed to sit down and have girl talk. Girl talk. Girl talk. Yep. Yes. And I felt like we needed to sit down and just have conversation and be real. That doesn't usually happen. And sometimes people think you can't have relationships with other females. And it actually adds to your life. And so before I jump in, for those who do not know, my name is Ebony S. Bailey. I am an author. I am a purpose enthusiast. I'm a creative that challenges women to wake up and walk in their God-given purpose on purpose. Like
intro, period.
We are intentional about every single thing we do. And I have some people that I did not know would be a part of my future.
Girl, back. I know I wasn't going nowhere.
No, I knew. Listen, okay. I'm gonna tell y'all these people.
Maybe those people.
No,
we were born into this.
We were born, yeah, but no, these were. I got added to this group, sort of. This was.
I got added to this group. Yeah.
Look, this was the friend dynamic. Okay.
Yeah.
And I kind of like stumbled my way into this big sister role.
Well, I didn't like her at first. Remember, back in high school, and now things have changed. You just love me. You can't help it. You can't help it.
Okay, disclaimer for y'all who don't know. This is okay. Tell people who you are.
Okay, I am. Who am I? Markita, professionally known as Chef Kita. Woo! I am a private chef. I do catering, small events, private dinners in and throughout Wake County area. I'm gonna kick y'all in. Anyway, yes, and I am also now an author. Woo!
I should have brought
with the release of my first cookbook. Yes. Mm-hmm. So, and I'm also a mother and a wife.
Why do you say wife like that?
Like what?
Yeah, that part too.
A mother and a wife.
Yeah,
a wife and a mother.
All the things.
All the things. Friend, sister, counselor, nuck if you bucker, all of that. Okay?
Period. All of that.
That's me too. Yeah.
So yes, this is Markita. Kita, whatever you put, yeah. Then here we have my sister, Krystal. Tell the people who you are. For real.
I'm Krystal.
AKA the same one in the group.
I am the same one. Why'd you make
Okay, go ahead.
I am the same one in the group, but I am a teacher by profession for now.
For now.
Because we got stuff we doing. That's right.
Yes. Hashtag progress.
Yes. Mm-hmm. She dropped the mic. Now. Okay, she dropped the mic. Pass it on to.
Hey everybody, I'm DeVonnda McCormick. Everybody calls me Von. I am an author, self-esteem coach, motivator, counselor, all of the above. Leadership by trade. And that's pretty much it with me.
So all of these ladies bring something unique to this space, right? And to this world. And we have laughed together. We have shown up for each other in ways that something happened, we show up. Like, you don't even have to call. We let the other people know and everybody shows. And they have shown up for me in ways that I have not had in a while, right? And I needed to see that in a different way. So it was great for me to say, I want to start off She Woke Up this year. First of all, She Woke Up is trademarked. Okay.
Yes.
We are officially trademarked. And so now let's just take off running. And so I wanted to bring them here because they have each pushed me. Like this one has shoved me my whole life to go forward. My first supporter, go forward with anything. If I got an idea, she's like, how can I support? Even when I don't want to take it from her, she does it anyway. All of the things like that. And so there are spaces that I have let her in my heart. That's not even just, we're sisters, yes, but everybody that is family is not necessarily in those spaces.
Absolutely.
But we can live and we can thrive together. We can travel together. And that's how I ended up in these worlds with our very first trip year before last. And then I entered into this space a little differently, but I'm very proud of the progress that I've seen happen in their lives. And last year was a year. I don't know who want to start. But what is something that happened last year for you that should have stopped you?
I beat myself up a lot because of some things that I grew up dealing with. I've always seen myself as not enough. So that is really why that really hurt me so much. But yeah, we coming up out of it.
But one of the things I've realized for myself is I think it was years ago, we was at the river and Ty Trebek came and he preached, and he ain't saying y'all, he just preached at the Sunday. Yes, but he preached and he talked about how if the enemy is going to attack you, he's going to attack you in the areas that he knows is going to hurt you. Woo. So he's not going to attack you in the spaces like, if me pushing you don't bother you,
right,
that's not going to matter. But he knows if your toe a little broken and I step on it, it's going to injure you, it's going to cause you to trip and fall, then that's what the area. So he's going to go into those spaces that people probably can't see physically. They don't know, they may not even know that they're being used by the enemy, and the things that they're saying are like reopening wounds.
Yes.
And now you're fighting with that while you are working. Like, have you ever, and I do this a lot, been working while you were bleeding?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Oh yes.
Oh yeah.
So you working while you bleeding, and you know that you are doing what you're supposed to be doing, and you can't stop, but you're hurting. And to know that you have a group of people, or at least one person that can see you and say, I know what she needs, and maybe I can't physically say it, but they can go after that in the spirit, is something amazing to have. So the fact that you can say, okay, I'm dealing with this, they hurt me, this is how I'm feeling, but then you have people that are around you that say, nope, you're not going to stay there, we're going to keep going forward, and they can speak life back into you, is amazing to have. And that's why this year sisterhood is it's so important to me. It's valuable. That's something that's critical, because we don't have that, not authentic sisterhood. That is, they act right in public, but then you don't know what they're saying behind closed doors. Or the ones that can call you to the carpet and tell you how you acting in your face. That's true sisterhood. I don't need people around me that are just yes people. That'll just say, no, Ebony, you were wrong. Ebony, okay, maybe not the way you tell me when I'm crazy, but I understand where it's coming from.
This right here is going to tell you what you want to hear.
Not at all.
Get your ass up. My bad.
Don't make no damn sense.
My bad.
Okay, Lord. Okay, so, but you got to the end of the year and you worked hard, and she said a little while ago she produced a cookbook. And she did an amazing job with it. She has my favorite recipe, and it's the short rib recipe. You gotta go and get the Korean short rib recipe and make it. That's my favorite recipe.
And I do have to say this, and I know we're talking about each other, but Markita, I want to say that I'm very proud of you about this cookbook. And I'm saying that because I remember before you even did it, it's not right. It's too much. You just kept saying every negative thing that you could, and me and Krystal would counter it like, you can do this. We putting the positivity in you. It doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be perfect. Just put it out. You don't understand. The measurements have to be right. This, just counteracting and not really believing in yourself. So I am very proud of you. That's why as soon as I got the email, I said, let me order this thing before she changed her mind. And not put the book out. You got a pre-order now. You got to put the book out. So I'm extremely proud of you, and the sky is the limit for you. Keep going. Like I told you, like I see, you doing so many things when it comes to, big people and just places you never thought that you would be in. You are good enough to be there.
Yeah. I mean, that's how the end of the year finished out. Because after her, the Lord ain't gonna bless you. When I tell you God showed out from September through December, I mean, $1 million clients going into these homes that I never thought that I would step foot in. Mm-hmm. Bank account blowing up, invoices coming in. So the Lord did his thing. Mm-hmm. Satan ain't got nothing on him, okay?
Right. But you needed that. You needed that to know that you could push through something like that, because that's the beginning.
But I ain't want it though.
But you needed it. So think about it. If you can handle it on that level, then when something else comes, because the higher you go up and the more exposure you get, you're gonna hear feedback like that. There are gonna be times that it's not gonna work out right, and it could have been your fault, but you still pushed past it. So you did that. That's good. So,
all I'm saying is, Lord, I don't need to be on the strongest warriors list this year. Okay?
Don't tell them what you don't want, because
Lord, tell them what I don't need.
Lord,
okay?
Please,
the last two, all right?
Jesus.
We want the soft life this year, right? So, 2024.
I think for me, and it's so crazy because I really don't talk about this publicly, but somebody told me one time, and he told me, one of my guy friends, he was like, you know what I notice about you? You comfortable in, you're secure in the way you look, but you're insecure in your abilities. And that stuck with me because I always been insecure when it comes to being in certain rooms or speaking in front of certain people or people asking me to speak or people asking me to do this and a lot of people don't know, I don't really talk about work, but I'm in the corporate world. So last year I was just like, I need more. Like every which way last year, my finances, I never been a person that had dealt with a lot when it came financially. I don't want to say never, in the past, but things was great when it came to my finances. But last year was just like, things just kept happening. Things just kept coming. And I was like, God, what in the world is going on? Everywhere I turned, like financially, different things was happening. And I say, you know what? Even though I'm going through all this, I'm still going to bless people. I don't have to talk about the people I bless. I don't have to talk about what I give. And I'm still going to sow. I'm still going to tithe regardless. I'm like, Lord. And every time I would do that, he would bless me some type of way. It could be random that something just come, out of the blue when it came to my finances. And I was like, God, if you bless me financially, this is not just going to be for me, but it's going to be to bless other people. And I feel like the devil really attacks you in the area that God is really going to bless you in because he trusts you with it. So if he can trust you, you giving off a little bit, then imagine what he's going to do when you get to where he needs you to be. So last year, I'm not ashamed to say, it was a struggle with me financially and at work because I was just like, I know that there's more. And people be like, I see you higher, I see you doing this, and I would downplay it. Now I'm comfortable, I'm content where I'm at. And it's like I never had to, in the corporate world, I never had to down other people. I never had to, fight for a position. I just do my work, do it to the best of my ability. And whatever way he wants to bless me, he bless me. So I was just struggling. I was like, I know I can do, it was another job that I wanted. I was like, I know that I can do this job. I know that I can do this job. I kept saying it. And I was like, but I'm not going to go after it, whatever. I'm just going to let somebody else have, the actual position. So it came like closer to the end of the year. I don't know what is a God about, God blessing me in November, but something happens at the end of the year. Every year I get blessed around the end of the year. So it got to the end of the year and I was just been battling. I still been giving. And I was like, God, it got to be something more. It got to be something better. And I started writing down the things that I want, the position that I wanted. I wrote down the amount of money that I want to make in this actual position. And I said, God, it's not just for me to have the money, but it's to do other things that you have for me within my destiny. It's not just to keep it. It's to bless other people. It's to execute some of the other things that you have for me. So that later in the year, it was like November, and they told us that they were shutting down our program. And I wasn't nervous. I wasn't upset. I was like, okay, well, you know, it is what it is. They shutting down our program. And so my director reached out to me. She said, Vaughn, I want to let you know, even though we're shutting down the program, we got a position for you. And I was like, okay. You know, like, okay. And the position that she had for me was the same exact position that I wrote down. Didn't even have to interview for it. Making the amount of money that I asked God to actually make. But my thing is, if I would have lost faith, if I would have stopped, not give anymore, if I would have not tithed, I ain't got the money, I'm not going to give. God, I think in that moment, God was like, I can trust her with what I have for her, because she's still going to give. She's still going to do what I tell her to do, and she's going to trust me. Now, faith is hard for me. Like, faith is so hard for me. But last year, God tested my faith on so many levels, because I was like, okay, God, I'm going to trust you through this. I had to keep saying it over and over and over again. But that was like my biggest struggle. It was like financially. And I think that's what he was doing, like setting me up. Like, if I take away your finances, are you still going to serve me? Are you still going to bless me? Are you still going to tithe? Are you still going to give to people? And so I just thank God, because I was just like, I wasn't worried. I was just like, okay, the job closing, you know, God, I'm just going to trust you with it. Maybe I'm going for entrepreneurship, like whatever you have for me, whatever you want me to do. But he gave me the exact position that I wanted and the exact amount of money, more money than I have ever made in my entire life. And it's like my finances has increased at every stage in my life. So I just said all that to say, just keep the faith. And I just really feel like this year God has been putting in my spirit that this is the year of takeoff. So whatever you have or whatever you're doing, whatever you have written down, it's time to take off.
Can I hold $1?
Not after you been talking about my bank account, right?
I was like, man,
I need $1.
I want to It's your turn, Krystal.
Shimmy.
Yeah.
Talk about last year.
Last year.
Or however you want to, it don't have to just be last year, however you want to tie it on in.
Something I've learned.
Yeah.
Well, something I've learned and I'm still learning is how to more or less put myself first. Especially with work, being a teacher. Many people think teacher, you go to work, you got the summers off. I hate that statement, by the way, because in the 10 months that we actually have to work, we do more than a year's amount of work.
Absolutely.
And with the state of education now, one teacher is doing multiple jobs. So they always expect you to say, yes, you went to school for that, you decided to do it, but they don't think about all that it entails. They expect you to come home and do your work, but you have family at home. You have things that you have to do outside of work that are also just as important. So finding that balance, which is non-existent. I like how you said previously, finding the work-life harmony. It's something I'm still working on, because last year and in the previous years within work, we had so many people quit. Like just on my team, the whole team quit except for me and one other person. So by the second half of the year, we were serving over 100 kids by ourselves every single day. And so
you and one other person?
Me and one other person. We had a team of 5, 3 of them quit. So
Jesus.
2 people were taking on that load every single day on top of doing other duties in the building. And so finding time to come home and decompress and do all of that was pretty much non-existent. I felt like I went to work, I slept for 2 seconds and was back at work. Like I felt like I had no life. So it's something I'm still working on, but I do think it's getting better. I am learning how to cut things off.
Yes, at a certain time.
This is my no is no.
Yeah.
And sometimes people at work laugh and I'm like, no, I really meant no. Like, because my time is valuable too. Like as soon as I walk in the door and you're walking towards me with something, when we went on that vacation with Deidre and Tina and all that, and Tina was like, well, If they're coming at you first thing in the morning, tell them, no, I need this amount of time before you approach me with anything was very valuable. And so
you
just
use
setting
that now.
those, setting those boundaries.
Thank you, Tina.
Yes, thank you. Setting those boundaries have proved to be very beneficial, and I do matter as well. Like I'm kind of a type A person in some aspects, and I want to do things right. And when I do something, it has to be done like this. So sometimes I work myself in that aspect too, because I want it to be done right. My name is attached to it. All of that matters to me. So I'm learning how, I can still do it in this order, but I still have to think about myself, because at a certain point, if I don't, my body will shut me down. So I don't want to get to that point. I want to find that harmony in between.
Self-care.
All of it. Self-care, yes.
And I think with all of us, that's something that we definitely have to do. Because I like how you said that, we creating those boundaries. Because I had to do that at work. Because I remember I would tell y'all, I haven't even drank my coffee yet. They coming in the office like, and I start telling my team, okay, guys, give me between 8 and 9. So that's my worship time. That's my prayer time. That's my coffee time. That's my meditation time. So I can get ready for the day. And you do have to set that time, because you're working. And especially if you have a corporate job, then you're doing business stuff. And not to mention y'all mothers and wives. So it's like I can't only imagine that aspect of things if you don't take your time for yourself. You have to, because then you're not going to be the best you can be for everybody else.
You can't show up. You can't show up. Because
they'll tell you, like, I'm going to leave you alone today, because you need me.
I've got people that
so I'm like, okay, when they do that, I'm like, okay, it's time for me to take time to myself. When they got to do that, we're like, oh, something. I'm going to leave you alone today. So,
well, I know for me, last year was, I told Krystal this is how I could explain last year. It was the best of times, it was the worst of times, all at the same time. It was that literal, I said, Lord, I know you said all things work together, but can we get some more of the good? I got enough of that other piece to mix in. Like, I don't need no more of that bitter taste. I need some of the other stuff. But I will say I'm grateful for the experiences, because I needed that to see. And when I say to see, I needed that to see myself, because there were areas that I didn't touch, or I wouldn't have tried to see myself how other people are seeing me. I wouldn't have taken the time to see Ebony in those aspects. Like, I wouldn't have known that I could be short in these spaces when I don't have this dynamic. Okay, so how do I fix that? Because I won't always have time to gather myself before I can come back and respond to you the right way. Like, I had to learn how to stand on my own 2 feet, and then when my feet are tired, to tell somebody that I need help.
That you need help.
I had to learn how to not beat myself up, because I could talk myself out of something so quick, because it's not the way it aligns in my space, in my head. And so I learned so many valuable things, but God sent me people that saw my worth, even in the space that, I officially opened my publishing company last year. And I was nervous, because I said, I don't technically have all the qualifications for it, right? But I know how to do that. I don't have a graphic design degree, but I'm out here designing. Like, I don't have all of these different, I don't have these things. But God said, why do you feel like you have to possess that? There are so many people that have a degree. There are so many people that have, and I'm not knocking it, go to school, perfect your craft, do all of those things. But God doesn't, if he wants to use you a certain way, he don't need you to have all those things. Matter of fact, he said he likes dealing with people that have a deficit, because you need him.
Look at all these underqualified people in the Bible. If he can use David and Moses with the stutter, okay, he can use you.
You don't have to be qualified. Like, I don't know where people think just because you educated, like,
from society.
You have to be qualified.
You have to meet these check boxes in order to do this or that.
Like I tell people, college is good, but it's not for everybody.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? Because I can get these degrees back if I could. I'm not even in education. I'm in the pharmaceutical field. And I definitely didn't need a degree. Like, they can have this master's in...
Oh, that's right. You did get your master's.
They can have both of them back and these loans.
But you learn more from the actual act of being in the profession, too. So
that's what I tell people when they in training. They be so nervous. And I'm like, you're not going to learn everything in training. You have to take the training
the job experience.
And have the on the job experience.
Be willing to make mistakes and learn from those mistakes.
Yeah, everybody makes mistakes, and you have to learn from those mistakes. So,
okay, so qualifications, so that was the thing. So I think last year God had to show me that Ebony, just trust me. That's what I think he was showing me a lot last year.
Yes,
just trust me.
Him.
And I'm like, you sure? Okay. Down to the last second.
Yes.
Like all the way to the last second. Like, do you really trust me? Like, do you trust me enough to let that thing die and know that I will resurrect it?
Woo. Yeah. That's good.
Like, to that extent. And while he's doing that, like, he wastes nothing, right? So every single thing is used. Yeah. And if it's not used for you in the season that you're in now, you'll need that later. Or the people around you are seeing, because people say, God, use me. God, I want to be used. They sing, touch God for your glory. Do you really want to do anything? Right. Like, what if that means you have to go through the season of lack and then still show up? What if that means you got to go through the season of being exhausted and realizing, oh my gosh, I put everybody's priorities ahead of mine. And now I don't have anything. I don't even have it for myself. And he had to say, nope, I had to let you realize that. You know, even with you, when you were talking about dealing with the lady or what if I give you the opportunities you asked for, and the people that come, they are not the type of person that you really want to deal with, but I gave you the opportunity you asked for. What are you going to do with it when it doesn't turn out the way you wanted it to? Like, will you still trust me? And I had to realize that too for myself. So I'm taking that level of trust. And this year, I tried to record something for y'all and let you listen to it, and I couldn't send it to you. It was too long. But I was listening to a pastor, one of my pastors is young. I was listening to him, and he was talking about our mindset, and I shared a little bit with you about it. And he was talking about how people are intercessors, right? You pray for other people, but the intercessor, like that intercessor, there needs to be someone that can be the answer to that person's prayer. And so I said, God, I want to be the answer to people's prayers this year. I don't want to be just a person that prays the prayer and be like, Lord, send the people. No, let me be that person.
That's it.
And so I was like, God, everybody connected to me. You have sent some strong people around me. I want them to know that they are answers to the prayers that people are praying. Like, everybody that is connected to me has been an answer to different prayers that I have prayed in different seasons. And it may be some word that you've spoken, or it may be just the faith that I've seen you exude while you're going through hard, challenging seasons. And like for you, when we showed up at your house, that was I don't care. I don't even know what I had on. Like, I was just like, I knew she needed it.
I had to borrow a car.
And but that's how quick.
I didn't even think about it.
And then I called, you had to be on FaceTime. But it was like, God was like, Ebony, if you'll do that for your friends, what do you think I'll do for you? Let me show up for you. And I also prayed, I said, God, send me a me. And when I say that, sometimes I feel like I don't have the people in my life that see me the way I need to be seen, or they don't anticipate the things that I need. Like, I will anticipate what they need. I said, God, send me a me. He said, I'm sending you the people that you need. I'm sending you those people that when you walk in these business rooms and these meetings, and these spaces that you're like, whoa, Lord, this is bigger. This is way. I know I said I wanted to think big. I ain't know you was talking about this big and this fast, you know. But he's telling you that, like I sent you, you belong at every table, on every platform, on every side, like every place God places you, you belong there. And then another piece that I had to say, okay, God, I said there are a lot of creative people around me. And when you're creative and you can do things, people want you for the things you do. But it does not mean it's your assignment. And so I said, God, give us the discernment to know which things to touch and which things we need to say no. And have a strong no with an exclamation point at the end. Because Ebony has been walking in her season of no all last year. And she has meant it. So much so that sometimes people don't even ask, because I have said no and I meant it. No. But I needed that. They don't understand how much of a weight it is to carry so much, and then you don't feel like anybody else is helping you carry the load. So this year, I'm like, God, we need sweatless seasons. Now, when I say sweatless, I don't necessarily mean we don't have to do any work, but we're not going to have to plow. Like last year, I feel like we sowed so many seeds. We cried enough. We went through enough. And now we've planted, we've sown in our time, our talent, our money, all of those things. This is the time for us to reap it. Harvest season, like my church, that's the theme, is the year of the harvest. But I said people are very confused about harvest. Harvest season is busy. You have to bring the stuff in. But if you have not prepared for your season of harvest, it will overtake you. So all the things that we dealt with last year, it prepared us for where we are now. So like, I'm grateful. The reason I asked you to start off with the hardest thing was we needed that hard thing. We needed that hard thing for now. We needed that hard thing to go forward. And we needed that hard thing to happen and us to speak that hard thing. And then you can say, I'm still here. I'm still here. Like Krystal got over there. Yes, you can. We can. Dream big. Dream big.
Yes, like, Michelle Obama.
Let's keep doing that.
That's her mantra.
Like, let's keep doing that. So out of the things that you thought about, and even if you didn't talk about it yet, but what are you taking with you into this next phase of life? We ain't talking about year. We talking about this next phase. Like, years are like, no, Lord don't even work in that time frame. Right? He don't care about months. When we hit 12:59 on it, he don't care about that. He's not in the chronological calendar, all of that stuff. So what is something that you're taking with you into this new phase of your life that you know God is moving and he is placing you in places and spaces? He's giving you access. Like, he's giving you access to stuff. And the only thing about access is if you don't get up and walk through the door, that's your fault. Because he opened it for you. So what is something, what y'all got?
I think for me, I'm no longer insecure in my abilities. I know we said we're going to talk about the timing of last year, but it really prepared me to know who DeVonnda is. So when I show up in the business meetings or when I show up in the corporate room as me, the black girl with this, or look a certain type of way, I'm not insecure because I'm the only face in the room anymore. It's like, yes, y'all have me here and I have a lot that I'm going to bring to the table. I belong here and I'm going to show you guys that I belong here because I have so much that I need to, put and bring to the table. Just like when you had messaged me that, I'm like, I belong here. I'm smart enough to be here. I have a lot to bring to the table. I was prepared for this, So I think for me, showing up as me and authentic me and who I am and my abilities and what I bring to the table.
She dropped the mic.
I think for me, I was actually talking about this with one or two of my coworkers last week or the week before that preparation season that you was talking about. Like, mine goes even back further than last year. These past couple of years have been really, really heavy for me. And in some instances, I've responded I've reacted instead of responding. And in the moment, I shouldn't have, But after the fact and thinking back on it, I realized that happened for a reason. Because I remember afterwards talking to a group about this person will never see me act like that again. Like, it took me out of my character, out of who I truly am. And I said, that will never happen again. And from that moment on, it didn't get easier. It was still difficult and it was still challenging. And I felt like this person kept trying to do things to get me to react. And they couldn't. But from that instance, I learned that I should not be reacting. I should be responding. I hear what you're saying and I see what you're doing. I can see through what you're doing. And so I'm not going to give you what you want. And I really feel like it bothered that person. But I was at peace. I was like, I'm going to do, this is my job. And I'm going to do everything in my power to do my job. So you can't say anything about me not doing my job. So that season of preparation, like I said, goes back a couple of years, but even thinking in my situation now, others around me are bothered by things that are going on, and I'm at peace. I'm like, I handled and lived through that. I can do anything, right? I can live and go through anything at this point in my life. So while I was in it, it was dark. I was not myself. But now I feel like that prepared me for where I'm going and for anything that's coming. And it couldn't see the future, couldn't see where I would be then, but now that I'm past that, I see how that built me into who I am today. So moving into this next phase of life, I just really want to feed more into myself, learning who I am. For me, like, I know who I am, but even knowing who I am in God, trying to develop a stronger relationship with Him and the Word, and knowing it more like I should at this point. So for me, I start each morning since it's been about a week or two now, but I start each morning. I realized I had to get up even earlier than I was before. Start each morning at 4:30, quiet time. I know, quiet time, and
drooling.
I know, and you went to bed 12 hours before that.
I already get up early, but that's early,
right? I was getting up at 5, but that was enough time for me. I needed to devote some time for me and to get myself together to prepare the way for my day. And so I think going into this next phase of my life, that's going to help further me as a person, being able to handle whatever comes next.
And I noticed when I started doing that too, Krystal, because it's you have, and what we have to understand as Christians too, we were supposed to be able to set the atmosphere, and I wasn't doing
everywhere
going into the building and stuff like that. I would go in and wonder. Remember, I used to tell you, I'm angry, I'm upset. This person that pisses me off, I'm just fussing with y'all because, and I had to realize, and somebody told me that it might have been you. Somebody told me they was like, you are a Christian, you have authority over the atmosphere at your job. What are you doing? So I had to change, like you said, in the morning, change up my routine. I took the time to pray. Like, you have to set that mood. And I noticed when I don't, that's when the devil starts attacking.
You be like, wait,
I was like, I didn't do what I was supposed to do this morning. And like you said, we grew up in church and like really knowing the word, for yourself, not what your parents told you, not what pastor said. But, so I started, like, that's good. It's in there. Let me go. Let me go read this whole passage. It be some good stuff.
Always more to
So it's so true because it's like stories, and I'm like, wow, I can relate to Joe because I really feel like last year I had my Joe season. Like last year, and he did not denounce God, and even all the stuff that I went through last year, I could have denounced God, but at the end, things change for him, and people don't understand it's always an ending to your situation, and seasons always change. They change. You're not gonna stay in that season forever, and I think when we're in it, we're like, I'm never gonna get out of and not to dwell on your situation and where you at. So I think that was, not to get off what you were saying, but it was just like, I really had to set that stage in the mornings, and I was like, I need to start, because I started listening to more pastors and stuff like that or whatever. And I said, I need to start incorporating more of the word. So I started writing down scriptures. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to read the whole story, not just the scripture that the pastor, because it just has so much meaning. I'm like, dang, he went through the same thing. It's another cussing person in the Bible too. You will
find out one.
They just like me.
But you are right about us being supposed to be able to change the atmosphere.
Yeah.
We walk in and set the atmosphere.
Mm-hmm.
I know I have difficult days, and I just ask God to let people see God through me when I'm at work. And one of the ladies that I work with told me not too long ago, "You're always smiling." I am. I was like, me? I am. She was like, "You're always happy." So when you're not, I know something's wrong. And I was like, wow, that's God really shining through me.
Because smiling.
Yeah.
All the time.
That ain't it. I wouldn't have known. So
Right.
that's why I feel like, we're supposed to change the atmosphere. God is supposed to be present in all that we do.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, somebody's. I don't know if it was. I heard it somewhere, so I'm not giving myself credit for it. We're supposed to be thermostats, not thermometers.
Yes.
Right. The thermostat just adapts to whatever temperature is. No, we set it.
We set it.
So you have to do that. And I know the days that I don't start off the right way. Oh my
God.
I am already a moody person. Okay.
Are you?
You.
Child, I had no idea.
Really? Oh my gosh.
So I am already one that it don't take a lot sometimes. Y'all can stop now.
Oh, I was talking about me.
No, I'm talking about me this time.
Oh, I was going to say, like, we can stop now.
Right. But definitely you, but we was talking about this today.
Anyway. But I know that about myself, and so I have to give myself, because when I start getting snappy, I'm like, okay, Ebony, you need to step away.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I got a whole family. It's a whole one. It's 5 kids and a husband. You can stop it. All of those. And I have all different types of personalities, but I have one sensitive child, like, that is very sensitive. And if I find myself snapping, I'm like, oh gosh, I done made her cry. Let me not do that. Or she's like, Mommy, are you okay? I mean, she pays attention to me a lot. And so I said, Ebony, I don't want them to feel like they have to adapt to whatever version I'm giving them. So I'm trying to make sure that I'm present, you know? I feel like I've missed out on opportunities and relationships because of second guessing myself and not showing up and not being honest with myself. And so that was one of the things that I said I need in this next phase of my life. I need to make sure I'm present. I don't want, you never know when your season is up in life, period, right? And so if I spend my time always second guess and never fully experiencing, when God says, Ebony, it's time for you to go, I might have missed out on so many things. And they talk about how the graveyard is the richest place in the world because people die with so much invested inside of them. And I'm like, no, Lord, I want to leave here empty. So in order for me to do that, I have to give you all of me, and then realize that if I am put in these spaces and places and someone mishandles me, that you're gonna come back and you're going to take the pieces that are left and put it back together again. So I have to trust you. There's my trust word again. That you love me enough so that I understand that whatever I'm exposed to, whatever I'm experiencing, you're gonna take it, you're gonna make it all work together, mix it up, you know, you bake baking stuff, mix it all together. And you need all those different pieces and flavors, even the bitter and all of that stuff to come out with the right outcome. So, I mean, the ball's in your court. I think you was left. Oh.
So, speaking on what Krystal said, the last couple of years. Because, like, started in 2021 with me, like, when I was completely broken. And it just, every year, then my grandmother passed, and stuff just kept happening. So the thing that I am focused on now, that I finally am coming, it's getting in there, okay? The last part of the year is I'm standing on who I know Markita is. Not who they say I am.
That's right.
Not what they remember from when I was in high school or when I was in my early 20s, but on who I know Markita to be right now.
Right now in Quinetta.
Leave it in. Okay.
Okay,
You did a good job.
You get all this stuff from people from outside, so it's telling you who you are, who you should be, what you need to do. And if you don't do that how they think you should, then you're worthless, or you're not enough, you're not good enough.
Yes.
But I'm realizing that I'm enough just I am.
Absolutely.
Flaws, brokenness, imperfections, all of that. God made me who I am.
Yeah.
So despite all of that, I'm good. And I'm going to love me as I am. I'm going to work on myself as needed. And I'm going to put my best foot forward. I'm going to present myself to the world authentically. And if you don't like it, then you don't like it.
There we go.
I was like,
that's my next phase of life. Okay?
So we all talked about this thing God told me to talk about this season was dream killers. We just talked about all of them, right? We just talked, some of them.
Yeah.
Some of the things that could have been a dream killer. She woke up, started from, this is season 5, right? Yeah, 4, 5, something like that. It's 5. And the very first season, this started off, was supposed to be a song. She woke up, was supposed to be a song. I was sitting in a session with Brittany Spivey. She is awesome. If you don't follow her, she has dealt with grief. And when I tell you, if you go to her TikTok,
yes, so amazing.
She has so many people that she is helping to go through the process of grief, and she's transparent and she's honest and all of those things about her experience, right? And so we were sitting in a creative writing session, and that's where she woke up came from. And I was like, she woke up dreaming and realized she could have it all. That was my line, and Brittany was like, "Ooh, I like that." She was like, "Ebony, that's dope." She was like, "Let's break that down." And she's like, "What does she look like? What is she seeing? What is she smelling? What is the atmosphere like? What's the light?" Like, we went through all of those pieces, and it turned into so much more. And I was like, "Ebony, do you really believe that you can have all the things that God said you can have? Wow. And what does it take for you to wake up and believe that?" And the crazy part is you have to wake up so many times in your life. Yeah. Like, you can't just wake up once and think you up. Just like we do every day, go to sleep and wake up again in the morning. You have to wake up. And so I'm like, what am I waking up to in this phase of my life as far as purpose and who I am? So that's my question to you guys. Like, what do you feel like you are waking up to? And it may be something that you haven't quite got a grip on yet. You don't really have all the answers. It could be one word, it could be one sentence. But what is that thing that you're like, God, I know you woke me up from these other areas, but now I feel like you're waking me up in this space now. I don't have all the details, but I just feel the urgency. I feel the alarm clock going off. I got my watch on, it's vibrating, it's waking me up.
Mine is stepping out of the background.
Okay. Yes, God.
I'm ready. I am ready. I have played the background long enough. I'm sick of hearing people tell their stories about me. It's about me now.
You controlling the narrative.
Exactly.
I love it. What y'all got?
Ooh. I will be speaking. Doing more speaking. And stop trying to hide behind my voice, and really putting myself out there more with encouraging and motivating people, and not worrying about the sound of what I say, how I say it, is it coming across, are people understanding what I'm saying, like all these things that's in the back of my head when I'm speaking. But yeah, just putting myself out there more when it comes to being in the forefront of motivating other people.
Okay.
Say that question one more time.
Oh man. Okay, what do you feel like God is waking up in this season in regards to yourself?
What is he waking
Don't
up?
act like daddy. I never knew it until sitting here listening to you talk. You sound like my daddy. She does. He would be so proud. Okay.
Not sound like my daddy.
Like it ain't mine first. Like he's not mine. I think he's trying to get me to wake up being more present and vocal. Because I fight that. I've fought that since I don't like talking. Like, I don't like, in front of kids, I can do it all day. But being in front of people and presenting myself makes me nervous. I don't like it. But I feel like everything that he's been doing for me as far as professionally and stuff has been pushing me in front of them other people. So I'm like, I'm like, is this a sign as to what's next? I do think he's awakening in me. The next is coming sooner than you thought. And all these little steps are preparing you for what your next is. But I guess my comfort level with talking and being in front of people. Now, I'm still going to be in the background because I can make anything roll and flow for all y'all. Because I told y'all I got y'all when y'all ready to go out there. But I think that's what he's opening up for me. Awakening.
But I know God just dropped in my spirit that things are going to happen that we're going to be uncomfortable with.
We have to be comfortable with being uncomfortable.
Yeah. This year, I just see it like for everybody. Like, you know, I just see you elevate. I see you elevate. I see you elevating and coming out and really figuring out what it is that you want to do, because you have so many different things that you haven't tapped into yet. And I think this is the year for you to figure out and find what it is that God really, really has for you, because you're so smart in a lot of areas.
You just turned her prophetic off.
The camera rolling. Can't say what I want to say. Try not to say. But yeah, and it's like, I feel like that's what God is going to do. It's going to be uncomfortable. It's not going to feel good. You're going to be nervous.
Keep going. That
you're going to be nervous in what God is going to do in your life. But you have to be, like Ebony said, uncomfortable being.
Yeah, be comfortable being uncomfortable.
So.
And I think I have, over the past couple of years, gotten comfortable with being uncomfortable, because I'm always uncomfortable.
Uncomfortable. Yeah,
but me too. They say at work, you don't seem nervous. You don't seem uncomfortable. Yeah. I am. I don't want to talk to y'all.
Yeah.
I tell you that.
I'm like, why y'all? And all them looking at me in a boardroom, right. And I'm the only black person in there. I'm like,
they say you present yourself fine.
Sweating up under my clothes. Y'all have no idea.
I'm like, what they looking at these hoops? Because you know I'm gonna be me.
Yeah, I do. I'm hoping. That's something I'm hoping for. Yeah. Clarity. Mm-hmm. I was writing that down earlier today. I want clarity.
That's why I'm so happy to see that you're going to be. Can I say editing?
Yeah.
Oh. Can I say that?
Yes, you can.
But that's why I'm so happy to see that you're going to be editing, because that's something new, and you have an eye for that.
She does.
Lord,
and it may be something that you professionally, switch over to. You just never know.
That. Yeah,
she is a part of the team, honey.
Mm-hmm. Reading different stories and stuff.
Mm-hmm. And I do feel like I know when I switch over. Not I feel like I know when I switch out of education, it'll be into a career for myself.
Yeah,
working with that one over there.
Yes, we got some things to do.
Like, Krystal, can you edit this? How much you charge? Krystal's editing services. Wow.
She done gave you a name.
And a business. Go ahead and start it, girl.
Look, we just gonna finish her down.
It died.
I don't know how to change it. It's okay. But I'm excited. I think one of the things that is great
you
to
say yours.
Oh, me? Oh, Lord. Okay. What is he doing? He is turning on, like, I don't know if this is the way to say it, but I feel like my foot is on the gas, and it's just go season. Like, it's Ebony, no more doubting, no more this. I told you what to do, and it's time to do it. Like, I don't want to miss out on anything God has for me. And one of the things that I'm noticing is we got kids, they watch you. And I listen to the kids did vision boards at church, and Anaya got up and she did her vision board, And her first thing she said was, I want to, oh gosh, what she said, something about her business. She wanted to grow. She wants to grow her business this year. Where else is she here? They don't teach you that at school yet. Yeah. She's in 5th grade. They're not talking about entrepreneurship, any of those things, but she watches what I'm doing. Sometimes she'll come and she'll sit down beside me and she'll see me doing stuff on the computer, like things of that sort. So I know my kids are watching, and I don't want to miss out on anything, and I also don't want them to miss out on what they see, so that they realize that they can have it even at this early age. So to me, it's like, Ebony, stay focused no matter what is in front of you, what you see, what happens. Trust me, I got you, and I got everything around, everything connected to you. I'm really hearing God talk about partnerships, strategic, I was like, I sent you those words, strategic alliances that are mutually beneficial. It's not going to be one-sided relationships anymore, that everybody that God sends is to add to you and to and for you guys to both. It's not going to be one-sided. Like, enough of that. Like, we're too old to be dealing with one. Like, we're not in middle school anymore. We're not in elementary, high school, them catty girls. We're not with none of that stuff. Like, we have things to do. And I believe that God is doing something unique this year in the space of relationships. Like, He's gonna do that, and He's gonna bring the right people together. Right. And the one piece that I have to hear Him on clearly is, okay, God, when you put me in places that, like for you, you're in boardrooms now, you're in leadership role, I have to be careful with who I share certain things with. Oh yeah. So God, I want you to sharpen my discernment so I know where my safe spaces are, the spaces that I can undress and not be ashamed. And so I think that this year, now I don't think that's one of the things that God's been sharing with me, is my safe spaces are going to be exposed so that I know that they're safe, and I can trust Him with that. I can trust Him and understand that the people that He is putting in front of me, if they choose to go rogue, He still got me covered. So I'm thankful for the networks, the unique relational partnerships that is going to come into place. And even in my business world, the people that have come into my spaces now, they don't question the stuff. Like, I don't got nobody haggling about prices. I don't have to hunt them down for their payments. What do I need? They listen to you instead of they come to you for something. That's like somebody coming to you to make their food, and then they tell you how to make it. They're not coming to tell you how to do it. They're saying, I trust you. And one of the things that I tell my clients is, I have vowed to God to not drop anybody's baby. So I'm not going to drop your baby. And He's also given me access that, like, as you go through it, I'm going through it with you. I'm your midwife in this sense, in this space.
You love a baby now, don't you?
No, but I mean, but think about how you
talk about it. Call me, okay?
No,
I don't even want to put that in.
She got a baby coming.
Who
do? Oh, you? She done took a
girl. I thought she got me stuck.
I do like it because think about the process. The baby, like, you're pregnant, your insides are changing, your outsides are changing.
I gotta, mix it properly. I gotta let it sit. I gotta proof it. I gotta put it in the oven.
You know all those steps.
You're a chef.
But God was telling me about the birthing season, and it ain't gotta be literally.
Right. So that's what we are.
I'm taking 10 steps back from any births.
We are doing that, and we're building. That's the season of building. We're building not just our faith. We're not building just our relationship with Him, but we're building community. And that's one of the things that I think is beautiful, when you can go into a space, you can have your bad days. They don't, they let you have it. You tantrum, get up, all right, now it's time to go forward. And so I think this year, in moving forward, being able to identify those spaces gives you so much peace. Oh my gosh, it gives you so much peace. because you want to be, she somehow said baby, but I'm going to say it. I don't want to be like, oh my gosh, if I give DeVonnda my baby, she going to drop it. Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh, she ain't holding the head right. Oh my gosh. Mm-hmm. You don't
give me my baby back.
Right. Right. Or you think that the foundation is laid right and it's not. Like in our house, we finding stuff that, like, I thought y'all did that. Why is it not sealed all the way around this thing? And so now you're allowing things to come in because it's not sealed properly. Mm-hmm. I want to make sure that I've done my due diligence in my space. And then I can say, God, you got the rest.
But I do have things for each one of y'all that I do want you to do more of this year with being your friend and knowing who you are.
Trying to tell me what to do.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. I'm going to tell y'all what to do in 2024. Keita, I want you to network more. Because I feel like networking is going to open up a lot of the doors that you need to know. I know you don't like people and being, talking to people.
Don't say that. She like people, y'all.
She love people.
She like people.
She knows playing. She knows.
She like people.
She don't like people.
Go to her website.
That is one of my things, though. Like
networking.
Yes, networking and attending. Because I had been invited to so many things, but then, okay, I'm excited about it, and I'm gonna go.
I gotta talk to these people.
Well, I guess it's in 4 hours. I changed my mind. Okay, but yeah, so that is one of my things to actually get out there. Okay, and network and build relationships with people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So yeah,
big guys.
Big
steps. Come on.
Steps.
Next, Ebony. Oh. And what I want you to do is speak more. You have a lot of wisdom and a lot of things on the inside of you that a lot of people need to hear. And I feel like the publishing, everything is good. Your ideas, your creativity, but I feel like it's comfortable but not comfortable in those areas because it just downloads for you. But when you start speaking in front of people, when you start like you're doing there, like a lot of stuff that you say is like, wow, I didn't think about that. So I don't know, like maybe a women's event or conference. Or,
that's coming.
Something like that. But not with other people speaking.
No, I know.
I got the background.
Yeah, me too. But I know because sometimes we'll do an event like, yeah, I'm gonna get this speaker, and then you do everything to be in the background, whether it's a segment that you have or different things like that, and be comfortable talking about the things that you've been through because you don't know who is helping. It's not about telling your business, but be okay with sharing some of those things that you've been through because you don't know. Nobody's judging you. Who cares what people think because you don't know who you helping. And I always go by Pastor Mike Murdoch. He said, if I only bless one person, you just never know who you're going to bless with your testimony and the things. So don't feel insecure or uncomfortable about the things that you've been through because you don't know who going through the same thing that you're going through. But you have a lot on the inside that you can minister and give to other people. And I feel like in this season, come from the background and do more speaking.
That literally is one of the things that I
look
said.
at confirmation.
And Krystal, do stuff just try new things. Cause I know you good with.
Why you
Krystal, really? Just try new things because you never know what it is that you're gonna love, and you never know what direction you're gonna go into by trying new things.
Say yes.
So say yes to certain things, whether it's I'm just using an example
that
like
little Mexican guy
change
down
up your
the street.
Go. and not trying to be funny, but I know guys bringing purpose partners and stuff like that in this season. Change up your routine. You never know where the person that God has for you going to be. But if we continue a routine, you know what I'm saying? How they gonna get you in your house and at school if that's the only two places you
right
at church? You know how I feel about ministry. But anyway, yeah.
No, that is honestly one of the things that I need to get out.
Yeah, get out more and change up your routine. Like you said, take time for yourself. Even if you do something by yourself, a coffee shop,
spa,
or a movie or something like that. You just never know. So just kind of change up your routine this year. Okay, that's all I had.
Okay, so DeVonnda.
Oh, God dropped in my spirit about he said nothing. He told me nothing right now.
No, but your influence and your impact is needed. Like the way you show up and you support, God is gonna have that aspect of you highlighted this year. And it's not going to be for other people. No, he's going to use you in those spaces. Like you are going in these rooms now and you have access and you're the only one that looks like you. Mm-hmm. So he's trusting you with that. So understand that if he puts you in different uncomfortable positions, it's for a reason. And then when you go in there with your head up, speaking with your authority and your confidence, because you never know. You're in there for one thing, but you can have so many more opportunities based on that one experience. So I'm proud of you for travailing through all the stuff that you went through last year, even the things that I know not about. That doesn't matter. I know God knows. And every tear, all of us have cried. Everything. We literally were watering our fields to reap the harvest this year. So I know that this was just a off the cuff type conversation, but it's good to talk and it's good to kind of air out the things that we've experienced, even if it's just a few things, and to kind of see where other people have come from. Even when you converse with each other, you laugh and talk, you still don't know all of what somebody experiences. Yeah. We got this one to talk a lot. You might need to do a whole one next time by yourself.
Slow down.
Don't wonder all y'all can stop.
But you never know what you experience, and then like you said, you hear stuff and you're like, and it makes you think, and then it also makes you flash back to, oh God, you really did.
Flashbacks.
Well, no, the good flashbacks. Like God, you really did bring us
so much,
and you kept us. But you kept us.
And he kept us.
And some people can't even say they were kept.
I'm telling you.
Some people are not here. The things that, even in our families, like the stuff that I've had with my kids, and I've had to be like, no, not my child. Yeah. The stuff that I've had to go through with that, and to be aware. I'm like, God, thank you for the awareness, because some people didn't know, and then they lost their child.
Yeah.
Right? Mm-hmm. You made me aware. Did it hurt? Absolutely. Did I cry? Yes. But you gave me the ability to seize that moment and pick them up, because you reach us where we are. Jesus. Now you've given us the insight to do that. And so I thank you guys for just even taking the time to sit down, talk to me. Absolutely. I asked them like 2 days ago, and they said yes, but I wanted you to hear some of they ain't even really gave their story, but they have all been through some things, and God has been faithful, and he has been a sustainer, and he has been a keeper, and he is still doing things that we don't even know about, like on our behalf. Like I saw, and he out here doing stuff, and you're like, wait, when did you do that? Wait, hold up. That happened for me. And just to know that God works beneath the surface. Yep. And he has to get the foundation laid. He has to allow the roots to go deep so that we can build. The tree will stand, and it blows. It'll wind and wave, but it ain't going to break. All of those things, because we are built to last, and we have so much to do.
Yes.
We have so much to do. And I thank God for waking us up. Every single day is a gift. Every single day is a gift. And so I know I don't know, this might have been 2 episodes. Who knows? But thank you for joining. This first episode is really was really just laid back. It was kind of, we were just having a conversation because you need to be able to be in a space, and if you don't have it, pray for it.
Yeah.
A space that you can be honest. You can say, this hurt me. I'm bleeding. I need this. I don't know how. And you got people that'll support you.
And sometimes you just need a space where when you can't say nothing, these people got you.
Yeah.
Just it.
Yeah. That strong friend. I know we got a lot of them. They need a strong friend, and that strong friend needs a strong friend.
Yeah.
If you're going to be used by God this year or for the rest of your life, you cannot continue to give out of your cup. Pastor Elliot used to always tell us to give out of our saucer. Don't you give out of your overflow. Stop giving out of your cup.
Wow.
Because when you give out of your cup, you're depleted. You're tired. You can't,
snapping at your husband and kids.
Yeah, all of the things. And you're not alert, so when God tells you to move, you're not quick about it.
Yeah.
You're like, wait, was that him or was that me? Like, no, when you are not that way. So God, even in all of our spaces, we go home, we do what we have to do. We serve our families, we serve school, we do, all of the different things that we do. We need to be able to hear him clearly so that we can move and function like he wants us to, because there are going to be things that he's going to wake us up out of our sleep to do. Or he may tell you to say something, or he may tell you to do those things, but we won't know if we are not clear and open because we've given out of our cup. So that means if we need to fill ourselves up, we feel our cup going down, do what you said. Back up, self-care. All right, I need to take time for me so that I can be filled up, so that I'm overflowing now, and you guys are getting out of the overflow.
Yep.
So we giving out our overflow this year. Yeah. In every area. In every area. So thank you so much for joining. Definitely look out for next week. We are doing another She Woke Up. We are talking about, this season we're talking about dream killers and the things that the enemy thought would stop us in our path. But we're going forward. And the evidence is sitting right here before you. And the evidence will be right there on the screen with whoever comes on this season, that God has been faithful and he's shown up for us. And of course, we are going to believe in every single thing that he's spoken over our life, because we are more than enough. We have everything that we need to thrive and to go forward and to move forward in purpose, on purpose. Yeah. Like, I'm doing everything intentionally this year. Intentional. So you guys have a great evening. This is Keita, Chef Keita. Visit her website,
www.fromkitaskitchen.com. Okay, I'm also on Facebook and Instagram. You need chef. All right. Okay, you want to hook it up, get a nice romantic meal going. I mean, February 14th is coming up. Give me a call, shout out something. I got you. I did a whole commercial.
You did. you did all of that. And thank you for my sister. Listen, y'all, she don't like to talk. She said it, but she's gonna do a whole lot more this year. Yes.
Stepping outside the comfort zone.
We got some things we working through, and we working on, because she's moving into her
Krystal's
next space
editing
too.
company.
Wow.
She is one of the editors.
She might not respond on Facebook.
No. 2 weeks later.
2 weeks later, you got to text her.
She is a part of the Purposely Booked family. She is one of my editors and my reviewers. So she's awesome. She sees everything.
She don't miss nothing.
Nothing.
I got a book out, and she read my book. She said, "Vaughn, I wasn't gonna tell you this, but I'm gonna tell you." I said, "Thank you. We fixed that thing so quick before it started going out." I said, "Oh my God, all these copies out of solved."
Yeah.
She will get it.
Yes. you got a background. You'll see her. What you got? You gonna get your own commercial?
Hi.
We know you're not bashful.
No,
How can they find you? Website, all those things.
I'm DeVonnda. You can find me on Facebook, DeVonnda McCormick, on Instagram, Vonda Monroe. My website, vondamonroe.com. If you need self-esteem coach. If you need somebody to talk to, if you need somebody to help you walk in heels, I'm your girl. Spell Vonda. Oh, BAUGHNDAMONROE. Vonda Monroe.
See how she tell people what to do. She whispered it. And
Thank you.
And you can follow me here on all platforms. It's EBS Bailey. I got to spell that.
Practically.
Okay. I didn't spell Bailey. Or you can go to my website, ebonysbailey.com. You can also go to shewokeup.com. And you can find out information and other things that we're doing. We are doing a conference in August. I'm super excited about that. 2-day conference, and you'll hear more about that as the weeks go on, as the months go on. So thank you so much for tuning. You continue to walk in purpose on purpose.
Cut.
We done. 17-hour recording.